feel bad.
Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought I would review the NYX Off Tropic palettes for you. Off Tropic? Off Topic? Is that the pun they're trying to make there? I don't know. So there's two different palettes. We have Shift and Sand, looks like this, and that's the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. And I gotta say, I didn't think I would like this palette when I saw it online, but then I saw it in the store and I was like, oh yes, come to mama. And then the other one that caught my eye was Hasta Vista. It looks like this, and this is your more bright, fun palette. And I have to be honest, I thought maybe I'd want to do an eye look with this, but I decided to go for them sunset eyes today. So these will retail you for $20, and you get 10 fairly decent sized pans. So I don't think that's a bad deal at all. That's like $2 a pan, so not a bad deal at all. The only thing is you don't get any kind of mirror in these, so that might suck for some of you. So to be warned, these palettes do contain pressed pigments. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one are all pressed pigments. And I thought that was a little odd that this one was a pressed pigment, because I've seen this shade in like zillions of other palettes and it was never a pressed pigment, so I don't know. I thought that was a little unusual. I don't know why it's looking more chartreuse on camera, but it's definitely a gold. And then in this palette, this like coral shade, this pink shade, this like reddish shade, this purple shade, and this orange red shade, and this like other purple shade. Couple of thoughts since I've only played around with this one. I have to say that I wasn't mad at it. The shades blended out pretty nicely. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the best blending I've ever had. But it wasn't terrible either. It was actually pretty decent. It had pretty good pigment on the brush, although this one was kind of lackluster, so I decided to use like a little sponge tip applicator, which is like my go-to. And I didn't find there to be any patchiness whatsoever. And fallout was definitely minimal. The only shade I really experienced fallout on was this shimmer, which it wasn't a big deal. Like, it really was hardly any fallout at all. And I have to say, for palettes that have pigments in them, there's very minimal staining. Like when I washed the swatches from this palette off of my arm, like there was no staining on it, and I kind of expected there to be. So if you use like a primer base on your eyelids, you know, you should be fine. I don't think there will be much staining. Maybe a little bit from this palette, because you've got some pretty bright colors in there. So the only really negative thing that I'm noticing is that the shimmery shades tend to feel really gritty, like especially during application. Like I thought something was wrong with the brush. I'm like, why is this brush so rough? And then when I was doing the finger swatches, I'm like, oh, it's not the brush, it's the shadows. They feel pretty gritty, but like once you get it on the eyes, like whatever, it feels fine. But so just keep that in mind. The mattes, they feel nice and soft. I mean, honestly, I like this palette, so I can deal with a little grittiness. I mean, nothing wrong with exfoliating your eyelids. So, without further ado, let's get on to the swatches. Do we love this green shade? I love this green shade. I also really like this orange shade. It is fire. This shade doesn't show up as well, but I like to use it as a base, so all's well. The blue and the yellow are definitely not as vibrant as they look in the palette, and the purples were a little bit patchy, but I mean, honestly, those colors are harder to make, so it's kind of to be expected. And even though this shade is patchy, I mean, look how vibrant it is. Do we like? Because I am definitely liking this palette for sure. So overall, I give this a positive review. I like these palettes. I think they're fairly pigmented. They weren't hard to work with on the eyes. They were a little bit gritty. There really wasn't much fallout. So I really don't have anything bad to say about them, especially this one, because this is the one I actually used on my eyes. Except for the gritty shimmers, but even then, like, some nice color payoff. You can't really see that. To be honest, I was a little scared to even buy these palettes. The only other palette that I had from NYX was like their natural palette. Ignore the shades that are taken out in the middle. I'm not gonna open it up because there is fallout everywhere. And basically I was so disappointed in this palette. Like this shade right here is just like way too buttery and it falls apart instantly when you put your brush in it. Like the only shade I actually liked was this one, and I thought it made like a beautiful lid topper, but I was so disappointed in this, like I literally hated it, that I was scared to buy these because I'm like, ugh, if it's gonna be the same formula, then I don't want anything to do with it. But it's really not, so I like it. 20 bucks, I don't think that's a bad deal. So I would say if you're interested in it, pick it up. It's not terrible, like I said. Just keep in mind that the shimmers are going to be a little gritty, but if you can deal with that, then I would say yay to these palettes. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know if there's any eyeshadow palettes that have just been released that you'd like to see me review. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye! Oh, hey guys! So it looks like you made it to the end of my video. Don't worry. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can just click this video right here that has been cherry-picked just for you and your interests. Or you can hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Thanks for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up to let me know you liked it.